4 congressmen, 2 from Tennessee, 1 from the Chicago area, and the other from Pennsylvania, all of them in Tennessee together, with a huge influence on the future of American agriculture. It was all a part of a 2-day event to let U.S. House Agriculture Committee members, Tennessee Congressman Scott DesJarlais and John Rose, Jonathan Jackson of Illinois, and Chairman of the committee Glenn Thompson of Pennsylvania, hear directly from Tennessee farmers on what they need in the upcoming Farm Bill. The lawmakers are joined by leaders from the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, Tennessee Farm Bureau, and American Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall. The congressman toured several farms in Middle Tennessee and participated in a 3-hour listening session. First stop was Anderson Meats in Trousdale County, where the lawmakers got a first-hand look at the success of a local meat processing plant that wouldn't have been possible without the state's COVID relief money.
It's probably one of the greatest honors I've had in my life, actually, to entertain 4 congressmen in one day, especially the chairman of the House Ag Committee. Everything we can do as, Congress, individuals, or whatever, to help the farmer make a dollar, we've got to do it, and that's our goal here.
Next stop, Catisa Farms in Riddleton, Tennessee, where owner George McDonald showed them a part of their roughly 6,000-acre operation, where they grow corn, wheat, soybeans, strawberries, and watermelons. McDonald stressed the importance of having good crop insurance that works for everyone in the next Farm Bill.
It's a rare opportunity. You get the U.S. House Ag Committee to come do a visit on your farm. It's certainly an honor and a privilege for us to be selected to do this. Tennessee agriculture is important to this country. A lot of times people think about the Illinois, Iowa, Indiana states. Agriculture is still the number one business here in Tennessee, and we want them to be sure that that's what they know that's going on here in Tennessee.
The congressman got a full picture of how row crops are produced and why aspects of the Farm Bill, like crop insurance, are crucial.
Welcome to this 2023 Farm Bill, Tennessee Farm Bill listening session.
Farmers and leaders in Tennessee agriculture came together for the Farm Bill listening session. For 3 hours, the 4 men listened to concerns and opinions from farmers and people within the ag industry in Tennessee.
Farm input costs are rising at unprecedented rates. Increased funding for farm programs is needed to reflect the current farm economy.
I would like to share our concerns regarding animal disease outbreaks and threats they present to both our domestic stock and wildlife.
Row crop producers need a strong safety net consisting of both crop insurance and the commodity program.
Afterward, those who spoke felt good about getting their message out, and each congressman came away with a better understanding of Tennessee farmers' needs and a determination to get a farm bill passed.
Soybeans are my top priority right now. It's also our largest acreage crop in the state. I wanted them to understand how important trade was, how important keeping the Title I protected, if not increase the funding. And I would really, we really am wanting to make sure that the checkoff program was not gutted or was not tampered with in any way, because it nets $12 for every dollar spent in checkoff.
There's not many things in Congress that you authorize for 5 years at a time. Usually it's year to year, so I can't understate the importance of getting it right. And there's no better way than to listen to the stakeholders, and that's what this tour is all about.
In many cases, what we heard here today are not necessarily new comments, but they reaffirm or reinforce things we've already heard elsewhere around the country. It gives Tennesseans a voice, and as we saw, farmers from the Mid-South with our neighboring states in Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, also here and weighing in, and stakeholders from other states traveling here to participate today.
I've learned a lot, and so I've heard about what's happened in the milk production, on how rules were changed and laws were written. I've heard about what's happened in California, on rules were changed and laws were written. Some of this has happened haphazardly, unintentionally, that has major consequences across the nation. I see many farmers out here that this is like pastoral work, it's their way of life.
The voices that we heard from today from here in Tennessee, we're taking those voices back to Washington and incorporating all that great feedback, that input, recommendations, suggestions into our work on this Farm Bill.
Day 2 brought more farm visits with chances for farmers to share their thoughts. First stop, Riverbend Nursery in Williamson County.
We're blessed to have everybody here for sure, and for the nursery industry in Tennessee and around the country too. To have the chairman here is unbelievable. We're very much a part of agriculture. We grow vegetables, annuals, herbs, perennials.
Next up was Nash Creamery in Marshall County. The Nashes shared their story of how overbearing regulations drove them from California to Tennessee to continue their family dairy. And finally, the group stopped in Shelbyville to learn more about the walking horse industry.
I think what people hear and what people think is nothing like when they come and get to see. And these horses are cared for, they're treated humanely, they're treated great, they're like members of these people's family.
Both Congressman Jackson and Thompson saddled up. And Chairman Thompson, who was skeptical of the walking horse industry before, had a very different take after seeing them up close and riding one.
The fact is that this industry does a great job of taking care of its number one asset, and that's the horse and the health of the horse. And so this has been really helpful, I think, to be here, to be able to talk with those who ride, those who raise, those who train these horses.
After seeing a wide variety of Tennessee agriculture and hearing directly from farmers, the House Ag Committee members now head back to Washington to work towards putting together and passing a farm bill by year's end.
I don't think we make it by October 1st if I had to bet, but we're going to try, and so we're going to put some pressure on the Senate by getting it done on the House side, and hopefully that will prod them along to getting the Senate work done and that we get a farm bill.
We all have to eat, and nobody does it better than the United States farmers, and it's going to be more important moving in the future with the conflicts around the world. So I think that it tends to be more bipartisan than a lot of committees. We can still get bogged down on certain issues. As we know, the SNAP program is the largest part of the farm bill, and up to 80%. There'll be some contention, and there always is, but at the end of the day, it is a fairly nonpartisan committee, and we agree on a lot of things. We agree on more than we disagree on.
There's an opportunity to strengthen family farmers and to make sure that we have an abundance of food. And we can also use this strategically and morally to go around the world to help feed people.
I think the American farmer and processor, deserves our best effort at coming up with and ultimately building legislation that we can all coalesce around.
It is our responsibility to tell our story, make it heard, and make the future of agriculture better through getting the Farm Bill passed this year on bipartisanship.